This December, I'm playing one season in every FIFA game from FIFA 10 all the way to FIFA 19, and today it's time for FIFA 16. Today we're also doing something slightly different. Instead of just doing one season at Manchester United, we'll be rebuilding this squad over the next 3 FIFA games, with the real players joining, real players leaving, and dynamic ratings occurring. To help explain what I mean, our 90 rated De Gea will be 91 on FIFA 18 and back down to 90 on FIFA 19, no matter how well we develop him. The same for Rooney, he will go to Everton next year and DC United the season after. Any signings we make this year will also carry over onto the other 2 games. If we get a big offer for Pogba, we could replace him with someone like Goretzka. That means on FIFA 18, instead of having Pogba in our squad, we will still have Goretzka. Okay, hopefully that made some sense. Let's have a look at the team that we will be rebuilding. Some very unpopular players are very highly rated here. Anthony Martial has 90 potential, Pogba can hit 94 rated, and even Eric Bailly can hit 90. I think we know that none of these 3 things will actually happen in real life, especially in our time with Manchester United. But because we are Manchester United, we also have a pretty big budget. We have about £120 million to spend, and it looks like the obvious spot to try and improve is Marouane Fellaini, but we also have Schneiderlin, Carrick and Schweinsteiger who can all play in that role. The team is honestly pretty stacked. We might actually spend big on a young winger because we have 2 options that we found, some French guy called Lotin, who clearly we don't ever want, and a taller, faster winger called Leon Bailey. Of course, we'll go for the Jamaican because Usain Bolt's a United fan, so how can Leon Bailey go wrong? We also get a not very tempting offer from Hull. They want to sign Rashford. I'm thinking no thanks here. We've actually got all 5 of our trading sessions all focused on getting Marcus Rashford as high as possible, but he's not even going to feature in our team for the first match of the season, which is the Community Shield against last year's Premier League winners, Leicester City. We qualified for this by being the FA Cup winners last year, and hopefully we could do something similar this year in the FA Cup, but the Community Shield was all we really cared about. For the first 3 minutes though, things went terribly. We gave away a penalty, but Vardy stepped up, smashed it across the crossbar. We tried to clear it a couple of times, and somehow Vardy does the most unlikely goal. If we look at the replay, it's kind of a disaster at the back. We control it. What is Eric Bailly doing right there? Just get in the way of it. You're not going to give away another penalty. Zlatan somehow hit the post when he was one-on-one with Schmeichel, and Schmeichel saved Mata's shot really well there. We had another couple of chances though. Into the second half, Ibrahimovic pulls it across for Rooney. Open goal. We're not going to miss that. We're back in this game. Can we get our first competition win with Manchester United in our first match of the season? Zlatan doing some tricks, gets into the box against Robert Huth. He goes down, and if we look at the replay, it is actually a valid penalty. It looked very weak from the other camera, but that one, yeah, he gets his ankle stamped on. Steps up, tries to change the direction at the last minute, and Schmeichel guesses right. Because the games end 1-1 though, you're going to see even more penalties go straight to a penalty shootout. Can Schmeichel save a bunch more shots? Can Ibrahimovic finally score a penalty? No, he can't. That's his second penalty miss of the game. Will Vardy score? This time, he does. De Gea dives the right way, and Vardy just hits it straight over him. Rooney scores his, as you would expect. Captain Rooney. Mahrez steps up, dinks it. We go the right way again, and again it's not saved. When Mata changes direction, hits the post. Things are going absolutely awful. Fuchs with the massive run-up, and the first one we don't dive the right way for, we actually save. Pogba steps up, saved by Schmeichel. Brilliant save, that one. That's actually quite a cool one to see. Oloa hits both posts and the ball stays out. Albrighton could win it, but hits it straight into the Leicester City fans, and Carrick can keep us alive. But Schmeichel saves yet another penalty. And as Danny Simpson wins the game for Leicester, can you honestly say you've ever seen such a bad set of penalties on any game of FIFA ever? We get off to a good start in the Premier League. After 5 games we're in the top 4, and after 5 games in the Europa League, we've won 5 matches, meaning that if we win this one against Strom Godset, Martin Odegaard's former team, then we can be one of the first teams to ever get 6 wins from 6 games. But it didn't start off very well just before half-time. They scored a decent volley there from a cross. There's a bit of a dynamic difficulty when it comes to playing in Europe, but thankfully we just about overcame it there with Anthony Martial. We're not going to lose this game, but can we go on to win it? Rashford here against Maddison. He has 40 more pace, but Maddison keeps up, and Rashford can't finish that one off. Annoying to see him keeping up, and also annoying to mess the finish up, but he's going to get another chance against Maddison again. Maddison's defending is amazing for a 62, but Rashford's shot gets deflected over the bar. Man, it's really tough playing in the Europa League. You play against worse teams than like Man City and Arsenal, but the games are actually much, much tougher. We're going to settle for a draw in this one, and in the Premier League, things aren't going that much better. We're in 9th place, we keep drawing matches, but we are only 6 points off 3rd place with a game in hand. So it looks bad at the minute, but things can definitely improve very, very quickly. And we'll need them to, because we're playing against a team that's just above us in 8th place, Liverpool. Of course, one of the biggest derbies of the entire season for us, this one. It could be the game that reignites a title chase. We could even use it just to finish in the top 4. We need the points, but always beating Liverpool is going to be quite tough, especially when they've now got a Jurgen Klopp team with Sadio Mane up front. We had our first chance there. Rooney with a slide tackle finish that couldn't quite find the ball. Liverpool have 2 big threats up front. One of them's Daniel Sturridge here. He's just gone around 3 of our players and he's crossed it to the other, Coutinho, but it's a great save there from David De Gea. Wayne Rooney always steps up in these games and he's done it again. What a volley that is, straight in the top corner. He's only an 82 rated player now, but he's one of the first names in the team sheet. He's the captain, he's a Man United legend, and he always seems to score when we really need him to score. I wish he'd stuck that one in the top corner. That would have been one of the best goals in this derby of all time. You see how annoyed he is. If we look at the replay, Rooney there, and it's just going to go just over the top of the bar. Would have been an amazing goal to score. Don't count out Liverpool just yet though. Sadio Mane goes around 2 players, gets the cross in, but David De Gea is there. We might have a 92 rated goalkeeper, but he does sometimes not fill me with the most confidence. He has a bit of a reputation for being stuck on his line, but he isn't right there, and he gets to the ball ahead of Daniel Sturridge. That's great goalkeeping. Leon Bailey now, 97 pace. He's actually faster than Mbappe ever got to as well. If he scores that, we've probably won the game, but as it stands, we might live to regret that chance. Out goes Wijnaldum. He's done Darmian. He does Smalling. He gets it to Sturridge, and that's going in the side netting. They've had 2 or 3 chances in the entire match. There's no doubt that Klopp's loving this because we were actually making them hold on, and now they've got the equaliser. Can we score in the last minute? Well, they have the corner. Rooney clips it forward. Can Bailly get there before Moreno? He's got a bit more pace, but Moreno's going to get there. He's just going to play it to Milner, and that's going to be the end of the match. So a point isn't too bad, especially against a decent team like Liverpool. But we're in a game where we cannot lose. We cannot draw. We have to win this match. Against Grasshopper Zurich, we're now in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We're trying to do what Manchester United did in real life in this season, which was to actually go on to win the Europa League. We need to get past them right here if we want to have any chance of that, because of course we can't draw this one because that'll probably be an away goals loss unless it's 0-0, and if we lose we're just out of the tournament. So when we scored one of the worst goals we've ever scored right there with Martial, we thought things might finally be going our way. Pogba couldn't score, but Martial would smash it in off the goalkeeper's legs. That's really not a great goal to see, but this one could be special. Leon Bailey beating his man. Rooney again missing a fairly easy chance. 1-on-1, you've got to expect he'll score that one because Grasshoppers can do things like that. They did 3 one-touch passes. That was absolutely amazing. Like watching Barcelona in 2010. We try and get ahead straight away. Pogba bursting from midfield, 1-on-1. He finally does what Rooney and Bailey can't do and scores a finesse goal. He also hits the dab, which of course is classic FIFA 17 and is also classic Paul Pogba. We're not going to be worried by crosses like that. David De Gea is collecting that all day long. Can he get out to the winger? No, he can't. He's just rolled it to the total wrong player. And Grasshoppers have got a second really annoying equaliser to concede. Surely they're not going to get another one. 3 men in the middle, and it's found the Grasshoppers, man. That's going to be the Grasshoppers ahead. They've scored 3 times in 9 minutes, and we now have 20 minutes to try and get an equaliser. But surely Depay's got it here. No, it's a great save from a 62 rated goalkeeper. Darmian plays it through to Bailey. He's got like 98 pace. Surely he can outrun them. He can. 1-on-1. And again, he's fluffed it. He's done it against Liverpool. He's done it against Grasshoppers. Who knows? Maybe Mbappe was the right decision after all. But that's going to be the end of the game. It's going to end 3-2 to Grasshopper Zurich, and they've scored 3 of the most annoying goals I have ever conceded. I know I've said that a couple of times in this episode, but it really is true. We're going to strengthen by signing both Lukaku and Nemanja Matic for the second half of the season, and it's not really done that much. We've got up to 3rd place, which was always definitely a possibility, but Chelsea were way too good this year. They only lost a single game, which meant that the FA Cup was our last chance of winning any kind of trophy. If we beat Watford, then we would have to beat either Stoke or Chelsea in the final, so we knew the final was going to be a tough game against a very strong opponent. Lukaku actually did make quite a big difference in the second half of the season. I wish we'd had him for that Grasshoppers game, because he would have scored where Depay and Bailey couldn't. But if I'm being being totally honest, this game was just an example of how not to score. We kept making so many good chances, but we kept just doing the wrong thing or getting unlucky. Pantilimon there with a great foot save, and then Rooney couldn't score the header from inside the 6-yard box. Counter-attack from Man U right here, and Lukaku would pass it around Kabasele, but Kabasele would just get back in time. That's what I mean. We would get so close to getting through on goal or so close to scoring, and just whatever we did, we couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Watford nearly did there. That was actually a really good chance. Lukaku again, having a volley from inside the box. He's got to score these kind of shots. Maybe he's just not the big game player we thought he was. Rooney is though, surely. No, even Rooney can't do it because he's gone with his left foot there instead of his right. And that meant one thing. If we scored this free kick on the edge of the box with a young Marcus Rashford, things wouldn't go to extra time. Can he do it? No, it's in the stand. That's so annoying. So things did actually go to extra time, and basically nothing happened until that Rooney shot right there. Again, if it had found the top corner, it would have been absolutely great, but it was time for the penalty shootout. Lukaku stepped up first. He changed his direction just like Ibrahimovic did in the cup final before, and this time he would score. Isaac's assist steps up, and it's a brilliant save from David De Gea. We scored our second goal, so all the pressure was now on Watford. Up stepped another player. He did a triple stutter and then smashes it against the crossbar. Mkhitaryan gets his penalty save, so things aren't all going our way. But after 4 penalties each, we're 3-2 up, meaning Lingard can win the game right here. Come on, Jay Lings. And he does. He sends the goalkeeper the wrong way and then celebrates with the Homer Simpson running on the floor. Mikel Antonio kind of celebration. Good stuff. That means we're into the final. There was nothing to play for in the league. We got 4th place in the end. Spurs, Arsenal and Chelsea, all better teams than us over the course of the season. But we were only really focused on the FA Cup at this point. The game considers as a derby game, and I guess it kind of is. But our team is looking absolutely amazing right now. We've got an 86 rated Lukaku up front trying to punish his former team. It was actually nice having him up front because he was a target to every set piece, including this one. It would have been a great way to start the game, but unfortunately Lukaku couldn't quite do it. A different kind of chance here, and this time he can do it. Smashing the ball past fellow Belgium Thibaut Courtois. It's not a classic FA Cup final goal, but it's one that we definitely needed early in this match. So half an hour's gone right now. Rooney playing deep. He's been absolutely wiped out there by Diego Costa. That is classic Diego Costa if I've ever seen it. The referee doesn't even give him a card. I'm not sure how that's happened, but that was definitely worth a card. Mkhitaryan would be the second player to score for us out of absolutely nowhere. The ball just sort of fell to him in the box, and now we have a 2-goal lead. We just need to hold on for the rest of the match. Before half-time, Eden Hazard is through on goal. Can Chris Smalling get there? No, he can't. Hazard near post against David De Gea. You gotta be saving your near post shot, surely. But that was very poor timing for us. Wayne Rooney would get the ball. Paul Pogba 1-on-1, surely 3-1 here. Chips the goalkeeper and goes over the bar. An annoying chance, that one, because if it had fallen to any of our strikers, it probably would have gone in. But we've held on now into the 75th minute. There's nothing we can do about that. Eden Hazard's drilled cross straight onto the boot of Cesc Fabregas. He's not going to miss that. So now we have to score yet again. We actually took off quite a lot of our attackers, but we still have Rooney and Lukaku. And Lukaku should be scoring that every day of the week. I don't know why he's gone with his right foot. We get another chance. Rooney in the very last minute against Ivanovic. Can he finesse one in the top corner? That's so close yet again, but we haven't scored from outside the box on this entire game. As before, extra time, just basically nothing happened. We were on all-out attack the entire time, but didn't get a single chance. And that means for a 3rd time in this video, it's going to be a penalty shootout. Eden Hazard would be the first man to take one. David De Gea trying to distract him, and it's not fooled him because he's chipped it straight into the side netting. Costa did nothing in the match. Can he score the penalty? He's done such a weird run-up, and it's saved by David De Gea. Mkhitaryan scored in the match. He needs to score this one, really, to keep us ahead. Never in doubt. That's the unsavable penalty spot on FIFA 17. Oscar would step up next. Can we dive the right way? We think he's going right. He is, and we dive that way, but the penalty isn't saved. Very suspicious right there. Azpilicueta goes the exact same spot, and that means if Wayne Rooney doesn't score this one, we are out of the FA Cup in the final. And it's saved by Courtois' legs. That is an absolute terrible penalty. We had such a bad record when it came to penalty shootouts this season. But in the end, we didn't actually win anything. We qualified for the Champions League, though, which is, of course, a big part of our rebuild next year. It means we'll have a lot more money to rebuild our players. Players like Rooney will be leaving. I think Ibrahimovic will be leaving. Lukaku will be staying. Rashford will be rated a lot higher, so this really could be a great season for us coming up, because we've actually set the foundations for a great Manchester United rebuild, even if we didn't actually win anything this year. But thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks and goodbye.